The Silent Luna. A werewolf romance story. Opening. Hello, my beautiful dreamers. This is Luna, and welcome back to Luna's Romance Audiobooks, where silence can speak louder than words, and secrets have a way of changing everything. Tonight, I have a story that will absolutely captivate you. A tale of a woman who chose silence to survive, an alpha king who sees past deception, and the moment when everything she's hidden comes crashing down. Imagine living in silence for 5 years, never speaking, never laughing aloud, never letting your voice be heard, all to avoid being claimed by a cruel alpha who wants to use you for your rare gift. Now imagine the one person who discovers your secret is the most powerful alpha in the realm, the king himself, and he's not pleased that you've been lying to him. So settle in, my dreamers. This is a story about the masks we wear to survive, the truth that sets us free, and discovering that sometimes the one we fear most is exactly the one who will protect us. This is The Silent Luna. Prologue. The Vow of Silence. 5 years ago, I made a choice that would define my entire existence. I stopped speaking. It wasn't easy. Humans aren't meant for silence. We're built to communicate, to express, to use our voices to navigate the world. But I had no choice. Because my voice was dangerous. My gift was rare. And the alpha of my pack wanted both for himself. "Speak for me, Arya," Alpha Corvus had commanded, his hand tight on my arm. "Use your gift. Tell me what the moon goddess wants me to know." I was 17, terrified, and just discovering that my voice wasn't like other wolves' voices. I was an oracle, one of the rarest gifts the moon goddess could bestow. When I spoke prophecy, when I channeled her will, my words came true. Always, without fail. Corvus wanted to use me, to force prophecies that would benefit him, to twist the goddess's will for his own gain. So I did the only thing I could. I stopped speaking entirely, pretended the gift had left me, pretended I'd been struck mute by trauma. Let everyone believe I was damaged, broken, useless. Better to be pitied than used. Better to be silent than enslaved. For 5 years I lived in the Shadowmere pack as the mute Omega, the broken girl who communicated through gestures and writing, the one everyone overlooked. Corvus lost interest quickly. Without my voice, my gift was useless to him. He let me work in the pack kitchens, kept me fed and housed, but otherwise ignored me. It was perfect. Until the Alpha King came to visit. Until Kai Stormborn, ruler of all the northern territories, arrived at Shadowmere for a treaty negotiation. Until his steel-gray eyes found mine across a crowded hall, and everything I'd built for 5 years started to crumble. Because I didn't know that Alpha Kings could sense lies. I didn't know that he'd be able to feel the deception rolling off me in waves. I didn't know that the moment he caught my scent, his wolf would recognize mine. And I definitely didn't know that when the Alpha King discovers you've been lying to everyone for 5 years, including him, there would be consequences. Consequences that would change my life forever. Chapter 1. The King's Arrival. The pack house was in chaos. "Everything must be perfect," Corvus barked, pacing through the kitchens where I worked. "The Alpha King himself is honoring us with his presence. No mistakes." I kept my head down, chopping vegetables for the welcome feast. Being mute had taught me to be invisible. If you don't speak, people forget you're there. "You," Corvus's voice made me freeze. "The mute girl." I looked up slowly, keeping my expression blank. "You'll serve at the high table tonight. The king and his delegation." His lip curled. "Even you can't mess up carrying plates." I nodded, lowering my gaze in submission. Being chosen to serve the king's table was actually a gift. Servers at high tables got extra food and sometimes tips. As the pack's lowest Omega, I'd take any advantage I could get. That evening, I dressed in the cleanest servant's uniform I owned and joined the others preparing for the king's arrival. "I heard he's terrifying," another server whispered. 7 feet tall, scars everywhere, kills wolves with his bare hands. "I heard he's beautiful," someone else countered. "Like a dark angel. And unmated. Every she-wolf in the kingdom wants to be his Luna Queen. I listened silently, as I always did. Let them gossip, let them speculate. I was just the mute Omega, beneath notice. The king arrived at sunset. I was in the kitchen when I heard the commotion, the entire pack gathering to greet him. Heard Corvus's obsequious welcome. Heard the responding voice, deep and commanding, that made my wolf sit up and take notice. "Where can I watch?" I wrote on my small chalkboard, showing it to the head cook. "Balcony above the entrance hall," she said distractedly. "Just don't be seen." I slipped up the back stairs, finding a shadowed spot where I could observe without being observed. And then I saw him. Kai Stormborn was not 7 feet tall, but he was easily 6'5", with a presence that made him seem even larger. Dark hair pulled back from a face that was indeed beautiful. Sharp features, strong jaw, eyes the color of storm clouds. He wore black, simple but clearly expensive. No crown, no obvious markers of royalty, but the power radiating from him was unmistakable. This was an alpha among alphas. A king who commanded with his presence alone. He was magnificent. And when his eyes swept the room, passing over Corvus, over the assembled pack members, and landed directly on me in my shadowed balcony, I forgot how to breathe. He couldn't possibly see me. I was hidden. Silent. Invisible, as always. But those gray eyes locked onto mine with laser focus, and I felt something slam into place. A recognition. A pull. An awareness that made my wolf howl inside me. No, this couldn't be happening. His nostrils flared like he was scenting the air. His eyes flashed gold for just a moment. Then Corvus was speaking, drawing his attention away, and I fled back to the kitchen before anyone noticed. But my hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and my wolf, silent for so long, was whimpering with need. What was that? What had just happened? "You!" The head cook thrust a tray at me. "High table, now! The king is seated." I took the tray with trembling hands and made my way to the dining hall. The high table was raised on a dais, giving the Alpha King and his guests a view of the entire room. I approached from the side, head down, trying to be invisible as I set plates before the various delegates. "And this is my beta Marcus," Corvus was saying, "and my head enforcer, James. All loyal wolves, Your Majesty." "Loyalty is admirable," the king said, his voice sending shivers down my spine, "when it's given to someone worthy." The subtle insult made several delegates cough. Corvus's smile became strained. I reached the king's place, setting down his plate with careful precision. "And who is this?" the king asked softly. My blood ran cold. He was talking about me. To me. "Just a servant, Your Majesty," Corvus said dismissively. "She's mute, damaged. Nothing of consequence." Nothing of consequence. The king's tone made it sound like he disagreed. "Look at me." The alpha command in his voice was absolute. I couldn't disobey if I wanted to. I lifted my head, meeting those storm-gray eyes. The impact was immediate. That same recognition, stronger now that we were close. That same pull that made my wolf claw to get out. And from the way his eyes widened slightly, the way his hand tightened on his glass, I knew he felt it too. "What's your name?" he asked. I touched my throat, shook my head. The universal sign for I cannot speak. "She's been mute for 5 years," Corvus said. "Some trauma in her youth. She communicates through writing when necessary, but mostly she just exists." The king's eyes never left mine. 5 years. That's very specific. I nodded, keeping my expression neutral even as my heart hammered. "You understand me, though. Comprehend language." I nodded again. "Interesting." He leaned back, still watching me with that intense gaze. "You may go." I fled with relief, returning to the kitchen with my pulse racing. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. I served, I cleaned, I kept my head down. But I could feel him watching me. Every time I entered the dining hall, those gray eyes found me, tracked me, studied me like I was a puzzle he intended to solve. It was unnerving. It was terrifying. It was thrilling, in a way I didn't want to examine. After the feast, I was cleaning the high table when I realized everyone else had left. The delegates had retired. The servers had finished and gone to bed. I was alone. Or so I thought. You're a very good liar. I spun to find the Alpha King standing in the shadows, watching me. My heart stopped. Most wolves can't maintain a deception for 5 years, he continued, moving closer. The constant vigilance it requires, the discipline, it's impressive. I pointed to my throat, shook my head, mimed confusion. Oh, I know you can't speak, he said, his voice soft and dangerous. Everyone knows that. The mute Omega. Broken. Damaged. Nothing of consequence. He was right in front of me now, close enough that I could smell him, pine and rain and something wild that made my wolf whimper. But here's what's interesting, he continued. I can sense lies. It's a gift. One the moon goddess gave me when she made me king. And you, little Omega, are lying about something. My eyes widened. I shook my head frantically. You are. I can feel it rolling off you in waves. A deception so deep, so practiced, that you barely register it yourself anymore. His hand reached out, tilting my chin up. What are you hiding? I couldn't answer, wouldn't answer. My silence had kept me safe for 5 years. I wasn't breaking it now, even for an Alpha King. No answer? Pity. His thumb brushed my jaw, and the contact sent fire through me. I'll be staying at Shadowmere for a week, treaty negotiations with your Alpha, which means I have 7 days to figure out what you're hiding. He leaned closer, his lips near my ear. And I will figure it out. I always do. Then he was gone, leaving me trembling in the empty dining hall. I was in serious trouble. The Alpha King knew I was hiding something. And if he discovered what, if he learned about my gift, about my voice, about the real reason I pretended to be mute, Corvus would use me, or worse, sell me to the king himself, and I'd lose the one thing I'd fought so hard to protect. My freedom. Chapter 2. The investigation. The king was everywhere. Over the next 3 days, no matter where I went in the pack house, he appeared. In the kitchens, in the gardens, in the servants' quarters, watching me, studying me, trying to solve the puzzle I represented. You're very dedicated to your work, he said on the second day, finding me scrubbing floors in an empty corridor. I kept my head down, continuing to scrub. Most Omegas would resent such menial labor, but you seem content. Why is that? I shrugged, not looking up. Not even going to write a response. He crouched beside me, forcing me to acknowledge him. I'm the Alpha King. Most wolves would be falling over themselves to communicate with me. I met his eyes, keeping mine carefully blank, and pointed to my bucket. Gestured that I had work to do. Dedicated and dismissive. Fascinating combination. His smile was sharp. You know, I've been asking about you. The mute Omega. Arya, they call you. My hands stilled for just a moment. He caught it. Arya? A beautiful name? Musical, even. Ironic for someone who can't speak. His head tilted. What happened 5 years ago, Arya? What trauma struck you mute? I wrote on my board, the lie coming easily after so many repetitions. Attack by rogues. Couldn't speak after. Rogues. How convenient. He read the words, then looked back at me. And your gift? The oracle ability you supposedly had? My blood ran cold. How did he know about that? Oh, yes, I know about the oracle. His voice was soft, dangerous. I've been researching. 5 years ago, Shadowmere had a young oracle, a girl who could speak prophecy. Then suddenly she was mute. The gift disappeared. I shook my head, writing frantically. Gift gone. just normal Omega now. Except oracles don't lose their gifts. The moon goddess doesn't take back what she's given. He leaned closer. So either you're lying about being an oracle, or you're lying about being mute. Which is it? I stared at him, trapped. No answer? Then I'll have to find out myself. He stood. I'm hosting a small gathering tonight. Just my delegation and a few select pack members. You'll serve. It wasn't a request. That evening I reported to the private dining room, wearing my best server's uniform and my most neutral expression. The king's delegation was small. His beta, a woman named Sarah. His head enforcer, a massive man named Torin, and a few other high-ranking wolves I didn't recognize. Ah, Arya, the king gestured me forward. Come, meet my inner circle. I approached cautiously. This is the Omega I told you about, he said to his beta, the one with the interesting secret. Sarah studied me with sharp eyes. She doesn't look like much. Appearances can be deceiving. The king's gaze never left me. Arya, my beta here has a gift. She can sense emotional states. Read what people are feeling, even when they hide it. I kept my expression carefully neutral, even as panic fluttered in my chest. What do you sense from her, Sarah? The king asked. The beta circled me slowly, her eyes narrowing. Fear. Definitely fear. But not of you, specifically. It's older, deeper, like something she's been carrying for a long time. Interesting. What else? Determination, stubbornness, and, Sarah paused, loneliness, profound loneliness. That one hit too close. I looked away. Thank you, Sarah. The king dismissed her with a gesture. So, Arya, you're afraid of something from your past, determined to hide it, and desperately lonely. His voice softened. Why not let me help you? I shook my head, taking a step back. I'm not your enemy. Despite what you might think, I don't want to hurt you. He moved closer. But I do want the truth. And I will get it, one way or another. I grabbed my board. Nothing to tell. Just mute Omega. You're persistent. I'll give you that. His smile was almost admiring. But so am I. And I have resources you can't imagine. Over the next 2 days, he intensified his investigation. He interviewed other pack members about me, questioned the healers who'd treated me after the supposed rogue attack, reviewed records from 5 years ago. I watched my carefully constructed lie begin to crack under his scrutiny. There's no record of a rogue attack 5 years ago, he said on the 5th day, cornering me in the library. No reports, no witness statements, nothing. I wrote, small attack. Didn't report. Every attack gets reported, it's pack law. His eyes were hard. So either Corvus is incompetent, which I doubt, or you're lying about what happened. I had no answer that wouldn't dig me deeper. Here's what I think, he continued. I think something happened 5 years ago that made you choose silence. Not trauma, not rogues. A choice. You decided to stop speaking, and you've maintained that choice ever since. Too close. He was getting too close to the truth. The question is, why? What could make a young oracle give up her voice? Her gift? Her entire life as she knew it? I shook my head, writing desperately, Wrong. You're wrong. Am I? He took the board from my hands, setting it aside. Then prove it. Speak. One word. Show me I'm wrong. I stared at him, mute. You can't. Because speaking would reveal whatever you're hiding. Because your voice is the key to everything. My hands trembled. What are you so afraid of, Arya? His voice gentled. What happened that was so terrible you've spent 5 years in silence? I wanted to tell him. Wanted to explain about Corvus, about the forced prophecies, about choosing freedom over my voice. But I couldn't. Because if Corvus found out, if he knew my gift still existed. The king's hand touched my face, gentle despite his intimidating presence. Let me help you. Whatever you're hiding from, whatever you're afraid of. I can protect you. I pulled away, shaking my head. Stubborn. But he was smiling slightly. Fine. Keep your secrets. For now. As he walked away, I sagged against the wall, my heart racing. 5 days down. 2 days until he left. I just had to hold on a little longer. But that night, everything fell apart. Because Corvus discovered the king's investigation. And he decided to force my hand in the worst possible way. Chapter 3. The Revelation. I was sleeping when they grabbed me. Strong hands yanking me from bed. A cloth over my mouth. Not to silence me. I was already silent, but to muffle any struggle. I was dragged through dark corridors to Corvus's private study. He was waiting, along with his beta and 2 enforcers. The mute Omega. Corvus circled me like a predator. I've been hearing interesting things. The Alpha King has taken quite an interest in you. I kept my expression neutral, though my heart hammered. He's been investigating. Asking questions about the rogue attack, about your past, about your gift. Corvus's smile was cruel. He thinks you're hiding something. I shook my head. Don't lie to me. His hand shot out, gripping my throat. Not choking, but threatening. I know you, Arya. Raised you from childhood. I know when you're deceiving. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. Here's what's going to happen, Corvus said softly. Tomorrow, the king concludes his treaty negotiations. There's a formal ceremony, signing, witnesses, the whole spectacle. And you're going to be there. I shook my head frantically. You are. And you're going to speak. His grip tightened. You're going to use your oracle gift. Speak a prophecy that ensures this treaty favors me. Ensures my pack's dominance. No, I couldn't. If you don't, I'll tell the king everything. About your gift. About your deception. About how you've been lying to everyone for 5 years. His smile was vicious. And then I'll sell you to the highest bidder. An oracle is worth a fortune. Terror flooded through me. So, you have a choice. Speak for me. Give me the prophecy I need and I'll keep your secret. Refuse, and I'll destroy you. He released me, and I collapsed to the floor, gasping. Think about it carefully, Corvus said. You have until tomorrow evening to decide. Silence and safety, or voice and slavery. They dragged me back to my room and locked the door. I sat on my bed shaking, tears streaming down my face. 5 years. 5 years of silence to avoid exactly this situation. And now I was trapped. If I spoke, Corvus would own me, would use my gift for his own gain, would force prophecy after prophecy until the moon goddess's will became twisted to serve him. If I refused, he'd expose me anyway, and I'd end up enslaved to whoever paid the most. Either way, I lost. I pulled out paper, began writing a letter. To my younger sister, who'd been sent to another pack for safety. To the few friends I'd made despite my silence. Goodbye letters. Because I saw no way out of this that didn't end with me losing everything. A knock at my window made me jump. I looked up to find the Alpha King perched on the ledge outside my second-floor room. He gestured for me to open the window. With shaking hands, I did. I saw them take you, he said quietly, climbing inside. Followed at a distance. Heard everything. My blood turned to ice. He knew. He knew everything. Corvus is forcing you to speak, he continued. Threatening to expose your oracle gift if you refuse. I backed away, shaking my head, raising my hands in surrender. I'm not here to hurt you, Arya. His voice was surprisingly gentle. I'm here to offer you a choice. I grabbed my board. No choices left. There's always a choice. He moved closer. Come with me. Leave Shadowmere tonight. I'll protect you from Corvus, from anyone who'd try to use your gift. I stared at him. Why? Why help me? Because from the moment I saw you, my wolf recognized you. You're my mate, Arya, my fated mate, and I protect what's mine. The words hit like a physical blow. Mate. We were mates. That explained the pull, the recognition, the way my wolf had been howling since he arrived. I know you've been hiding, surviving the only way you knew how, and I respect that. His eyes held mine, but you don't have to hide anymore. Not from me. If I leave with you, Corvus will hunt me. We'll tell everyone about my gift. Let him try. I'm the Alpha King. If I say you're under my protection, no one, not Corvus, not anyone, can touch you. He'll start a war. He won't. Because I'll remind him that threatening my mate is treason, punishable by death. His smile was sharp. Corvus is many things, but he's not stupid enough to challenge me directly. I wanted to believe him, wanted to trust that he could protect me. But 5 years of silence had taught me to trust no one. How do I know you won't use my gift? Force prophecies like Corvus wanted? You don't. You have to trust me. He held out his hand. I'm asking you to be brave, Arya. To take a leap of faith. To trust that I'm different from every wolf who's tried to use you. I stared at his offered hand. 5 years of silence, of hiding, of pretending to be something I wasn't. I was so tired. Come with me, he said softly. Be my mate, my Luna Queen. Let me show you that your voice, your real voice, is precious. Not a tool to be used, but a gift to be cherished. I took his hand. The moment our skin touched, the mate bond blazed to life. Golden and perfect and absolutely certain. We leave now, he said. Pack only what you need. My guards are waiting. I grabbed a small bag, threw in a few belongings. My letters, my board. At the window, I hesitated. If I do this, if I leave, there's no going back. I know, but Arya? He turned me to face him. You've been silent for 5 years to survive. Don't you want to live instead? I did. Moon Goddess, I did. I nodded. Then trust me. Trust us. He helped me out the window, and we climbed down to where his guards waited. Sarah was there, looking unsurprised. Your Majesty. And the mate. We're leaving. Now, before Corvus realizes she's gone. They moved with military precision, escorting us through the darkness to where horses waited. The king lifted me onto his horse, climbing up behind me. Hold on. We rode through the night, leaving Shadowmere behind, leaving 5 years of silence behind, leaving my old life behind. And as dawn broke over the horizon, the king leaned down to whisper in my ear, when you're ready, when you feel safe, I want to hear your voice, your real voice. Not because I demand it, but because you choose to share it with me. I turned to look at him, this Alpha King who'd discovered my secret and offered protection instead of exploitation, and I made a choice. I opened my mouth, and for the first time in 5 years, I spoke. Thank you. My voice was rusty from disuse, barely above a whisper, but it was mine. The king's eyes widened, then blazed gold with joy. Your voice, he breathed. It's beautiful. I'm Arya, I said, testing the sound. And I'm an oracle, and I've been silent for 5 years to avoid being used by my alpha. Not your alpha anymore. His arms tightened around me. You're mine now, my mate, my Luna, and I swear on my crown, no one will ever use you again. I believed him, and as we rode toward his kingdom, toward a new life, I felt something I hadn't felt in 5 years. Hope. Chapter 4. The Voice Returns. The king's palace was magnificent, all soaring towers and elegant architecture, set on a cliff overlooking the sea. Welcome home, Kai said as we arrived at dawn. Home. The word felt foreign. I'd been homeless for so long. A servant, an omega with no place, no voice, no future. Now I was supposedly the Luna Queen. It was overwhelming. I know this is a lot, Kai said, helping me dismount. We'll take it slow. You don't have to be Luna Queen immediately. First, you just need to rest, to heal. Sarah appeared, all efficiency. Your Majesty, chambers are prepared. Healers standing by. And the council is demanding an audience. The council can wait. Kai's voice was firm. My mate needs rest. Your mate? Sarah's eyebrows rose. Official or, we haven't completed the bond yet. But yes, Arya is my fated mate. His hand found mine. Which makes her Luna Queen, council approval or not. He led me through halls that felt too grand, too elegant, too far removed from the servants' quarters I'd called home. These are your chambers, he said, opening ornate doors. Connected to mine, but private. Your own space. The suite was larger than the entire pack house I'd grown up in. Bedroom, sitting room, bathroom, with a tub that could fit 5 people. It's too much, I whispered, my voice still scratchy. It's exactly enough. You're Luna Queen. This is your home now. He paused. Unless you'd prefer somewhere smaller? I can arrange... No, I turned to face him. Why are you being so kind? You barely know me. I've been lying to you for a week. You're my mate, chosen by the moon goddess herself. His hand cupped my face. And you're incredibly brave. You chose 5 years of silence over being exploited. That takes strength most wolves never find. I was scared. You were smart. There's a difference. His thumb brushed my cheekbone. Rest. We'll talk more after you sleep. But I caught his hand as he turned to leave. Wait. What is it? The oracle gift. The prophecies. I took a breath. You said you wouldn't use me, but you're a king. Don't you want to know what the moon goddess has planned? Don't you want prophecies to guide your rule? I want you to be happy, healthy, free to choose. His eyes held mine. If you never speak another prophecy, that's fine. If you choose to share the goddess's will, I'll listen. But it's your choice, Arya. Always your choice. Tears pricked my eyes. No one's ever said that before. Then they were fools. He kissed my forehead, gentle and chaste. Sleep, little oracle. You're safe now. I slept for 14 hours. When I woke, it was dark outside, and someone had left food on my bedside table. Fresh clothes in my size hung in the massive closet. I ate, bathed, dressed in soft fabrics that felt like luxury against my skin. Then I explored my chambers, marveling at the books, the art, the view of the moonlit sea. A knock at my door. May I enter? Kai's voice. Yes, I said, still getting used to speaking. He entered, and my breath caught. He'd changed into casual clothes, simple pants and a shirt that somehow made him look more dangerous, not less. You slept well? Very well, thank you for all of this. You don't have to thank me. This is your home. He moved to stand beside me at the window. How's your voice? Any pain? Just rusty. It's getting easier. I tested it, speaking a full sentence. 5 years is a long time to be silent. Why did you choose silence specifically? Why not just refuse to give prophecies? Because Corvus would have tortured me, or my sister, or anyone I cared about. I wrapped my arms around myself. The gift doesn't work that way. You can't force it. But he would have tried. The only way to make it stop was to make everyone believe the gift was gone. By pretending to be mute. By choosing silence over slavery. I turned to face him. It worked for 5 years. Then you showed up. And ruined everything? His smile was wry. And saw through everything. I tilted my head. How did you know? Really? Was it just the lie-sensing ability? Partly, but mostly it was your eyes. His hand reached out, almost touching my face. You looked at me with too much understanding, too much intelligence. Someone truly mute from trauma would be different, broken in a way you're not. I am broken. You're bent. Not broken. There's a difference. His eyes were intense. And Arya, you're my mate. My wolf knows yours. There's no hiding from that. The mate bond hummed between us, undeniable. What happens now? I asked. How does this work? Slowly, at your pace. His voice gentled. Traditionally, we'd complete the mate bond, mark each other, claim each other fully. But there's no rush. You've been through trauma, been used and threatened and forced into silence. I won't push you into anything you're not ready for. And the council? Sarah said they wanted an audience. They want to meet you, assess whether you're suitable to be Luna Queen. His expression darkened. They can wait until you're comfortable. What if I'm never comfortable? What if I'm terrible at being Luna? Impossible. You survived 5 years in silence. You can handle anything. He moved closer. But Arya, you should know, being my mate comes with complications, political pressure, social expectations. People will question your worthiness, your background, your suitability. Because I'm just an Omega. Because you're not who they expected. But I don't care what they expect. You're mine, and that's all that matters. The possessiveness in his voice made my wolf purr. Can I ask you something? I said. Anything. When did you know that I was your mate? The moment I caught your scent in the entrance hall, before I even saw you. His smile was soft. My wolf went insane, started demanding I find you, claim you, keep you. That's why I was so persistent about discovering your secret. My wolf knew you were hiding something, and he needed to understand what. And when you found out, I was angry at first. That you'd lied, that you'd hidden from me. His hand found mine. Then I learned why, and the anger turned to rage, but at Corvus, not you. At every wolf who'd tried to use you, at the situation that had forced you into silence. You're different from other alphas. I'd like to think so, though my council would probably disagree. He squeezed my hand. They think I'm too soft, too willing to listen instead of command. Listening is strength, not weakness. Tell that to them. But he was smiling. Are you ready to meet them? I can delay it longer if you need. No, I should meet them. Get it over with. I took a breath. I'm your mate. You're Luna. I need to start acting like it. Pride flashed in his eyes. Tomorrow, then. We'll make it official. That night, I couldn't sleep. Tomorrow, I'd meet the council. Tomorrow, I'd step into my role as Luna Queen. Tomorrow, everything would change. Again. I was on my balcony watching the moon when I felt it. A pull toward the goddess. A need to speak that had nothing to do with choice. Prophecy. It had been 5 years since I'd let the gift flow through me. 5 years since I'd spoken the goddess's will. But here, now, safe in Kai's palace with the moon bright above, I felt the words building. I opened my mouth and spoke. The silent Luna finds her voice. The king who sees her makes his choice. From servants' chains to Luna's crown, the broken queen will not back down. 3 trials come to test their bond, of faith and trust and love beyond. But she who chose 5 years of night will lead them all into the light. The prophecy left me gasping, golden light fading from my vision. Behind me, I heard movement. Kai stood in the doorway between our chambers, his eyes wide. You spoke prophecy, he breathed. I didn't mean to. It just came. 3 trials, to test our bond. He moved to my side. Do you know what they'll be? No, the goddess doesn't tell me everything. Just fragments. Glimpses. From servants' chains to Luna's crown. His hand found mine. That's you. That's your story. The broken queen will not back down. I smiled shakily. Guess I can't back out now. Do you want to? I looked at him, this alpha king who'd discovered my secret and offered protection, who'd given me a choice when everyone else had tried to take it away. No, I said firmly. I don't want to back out. I want to face whatever trials come. I want to be your Luna, your mate, your queen, he added softly. Our queen, I corrected. I won't do this alone. Never alone. He pulled me close. Whatever trials come, we face them together. And as we stood there in the moonlight, the bond humming between us, I felt something I'd never expected to feel again. Certainty. I was exactly where I was meant to be. Chapter 5. The First Trial. The council meeting was even worse than I'd feared. 10 wolves, all elderly, all traditional, all looking at me like I was something they'd scraped off their shoes. This is the Luna Queen? Lord Aldrich, the head counselor, said disdainfully. An Omega servant from a minor pack? This is my fated mate, Kai said coldly. Chosen by the moon goddess herself. You will show her respect. Your Majesty, with all due respect, you're about to be disrespectful, so let me stop you there. Kai's voice carried alpha command. Arya is my mate. That makes her Luna Queen. The council's approval is not required. But the bloodline will be strong. Arya is an oracle, one of the rarest gifts the goddess can bestow. He looked at me, encouraging. Show them. I'd been dreading this moment, but I stood, met each council member's eyes, and spoke. I am Arya, oracle of the moon goddess. I was silent for 5 years to avoid exploitation by my former alpha. I am an Omega by designation, but Luna by fate. My voice grew stronger with each word, and whether you accept me or not, I am your queen. Silence. Then Lord Aldrich stood. Prophecy. Prove your gift. Speak the goddess's will for this kingdom. I don't perform on command. Then how do we know you're really an oracle? How do we know you're not just another Omega trying to climb above her station? Rage flared in Kai's eyes, but I touched his hand, calming him. You want proof? I said softly. Fine. I closed my eyes, opening myself to the goddess's will. The prophecy came like lightning. Lord Aldrich keeps a secret shame. His grandson lives without a name. The bastard child he disavowed will save this kingdom, make him proud. In 3 months' time, a threat will rise, from the east where darkness lies. The boy you cast aside at birth will prove to you his hidden worth. I opened my eyes to find Aldrich white-faced, trembling. That's impossible, he whispered. No one knows about... The goddess knows everything. My voice was gentle. Your secret is safe, Lord Aldrich, but perhaps you should reconsider your grandson's worth. The rest of the council stared. She's real, someone murmured. A true oracle. Does the council have any other questions about my mate's qualifications? Kai's voice was sharp. Silence. Then, slowly, Lord Aldrich knelt. Forgive me, Luna Queen. I spoke out of prejudice and ignorance. The rest of the council followed, dropping to their knees. I'd passed the first test, but the trials the prophecy had mentioned, those were just beginning. The first trial came 2 weeks later. I was settling into my role as Luna Queen, learning court politics, meeting pack members, establishing my authority. It was harder than I'd expected. Every day brought new challenges, new wolves who questioned my worth, new situations I had no idea how to navigate. You're doing well, Kai assured me one night. I feel like I'm drowning. That's normal. I felt the same way when I became king. His arms wrapped around me. But you're not drowning. You're learning to swim. What if I fail? What if I'm not strong enough for this? Impossible. You survived 5 years of silence. You can survive anything. I wanted to believe him. The next day, the trial arrived in the form of an emissary from Shadowmere, Corvus demanding my return. She's my pack member, his messenger declared. Taken without permission by your king. We demand her return. Arya is my mate, Kai said coldly. Under my protection. She's not going anywhere. Then we invoke the old laws. Trial by combat to determine ownership. My blood ran cold. No. Accepted, Kai said. When and where? Wait, I grabbed his arm. You can't. I can, and I will. No one threatens my mate. His eyes blazed gold, especially not the alpha who forced her into 5 years of silence. The combat was set for 3 days hence. Kai versus Corvus's chosen champion. This is the first trial, I told him that night, the one from the prophecy, of faith and trust and love beyond. What do you mean? You have to trust me. Trust that I'm strong enough to face this myself. Arya, I'm not letting you. You have to. I grabbed his face, forcing him to look at me. If you fight this battle for me, you're no different from Corvus. You're taking away my choice, my agency, my right to defend myself. I'm protecting you. I don't need protection. I need you to trust me. Tears filled my eyes. Please, Kai. Let me fight my own battle. He stared at me, warring with his alpha instincts. Finally, what are you proposing? I'll face Corvus. Not physically, I'd lose. But I'll speak prophecy. Show him and everyone watching that the moon goddess chose me for you, that our bond is sanctioned by her will. And if it doesn't work, then you step in, but give me this chance. Let me prove I'm not just the Omega who needs saving. It was the hardest thing I'd ever asked him to do, and the most important. Because if he couldn't trust me to fight my own battles, we'd never be true partners. Okay, he said finally, but I'm there, watching. And if anything goes wrong, you step in, I know. I kissed him. Thank you for trusting me. 3 days later, we stood in the arena, Corvus's champion on one side, me on the other. This is foolish, Corvus called from the stands. The girl can't fight. She's just an Omega. She's Luna Queen, Kai replied, and she's about to show you why the moon goddess chose her. I stepped forward, opened myself to the goddess, and spoke. Alpha Corvus, you sought control, used fear to buy the oracle's soul. But she who chose 5 years of night now stands before you, clothed in light. The goddess sees your greed and shame, your twisted use of her sacred name. Release your claim, admit defeat, or face her wrath, her justice sweet. Golden light poured from the sky, surrounding me. The goddess's presence, visible and undeniable. Corvus's champion dropped to his knees, then Corvus himself, trembling. Forgive me, he whispered. Forgive me, Oracle. Forgive me, Goddess. The Goddess grants mercy to those who seek it, I said, the prophecy still flowing through me. But Corvus, if you ever threaten me or mine again, her mercy will run out. The light faded. I swayed, exhausted. Kai was there instantly, catching me. You did it. We did it. I smiled up at him. You trusted me. That's what mattered. He kissed me, not caring about the audience. My brave, brilliant mate. The first trial was complete, but 2 more remained, and I had a feeling they'd be even harder than the first. Chapter 6. The second trial. The second trial came from within. A month after defeating Corvus's claim, I was settling into my role as Luna. The pack was warming to me. The council respected me. Even Lord Aldrich had become an ally after I'd reunited him with his grandson. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. Something's wrong, I told Kai one night. What do you mean? The prophecy mentioned 3 trials. We've only faced 1. I paced our chambers. The second one is coming. I can feel it. Then we'll face it together. What if we can't? What if it's something that tears us apart? Nothing will tear us apart. His confidence was absolute. The trial arrived the next morning. Sarah found me in the library. Luna Queen, there's someone here to see you, your sister. My blood ran cold. Lyra? She's here? In the receiving hall. She says it's urgent. I ran. Lyra stood in the hall looking terrified. My baby sister, who I'd protected, who I'd kept away from Shadowmere and Corvus. Arya! She threw herself into my arms. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. What happened? What's wrong? Corvus took something from me as revenge for you embarrassing him. Tears streamed down her face. My mate, he's holding my mate hostage. Says if you don't return to Shadowmere and serve him for 1 year, he'll kill him. The world tilted. Your mate? I found him 3 months ago. We haven't completed the bond yet, but Arya, he's everything. And Corvus has him, and I don't know what to do. I'll go. The decision was instant. I'll return to Shadowmere, trade myself for your mate. You can't, Kai appeared, his face dark with rage. Arya, that's exactly what Corvus wants. To separate us, to break our bond. My sister's mate is in danger. And you're my mate. I won't let you trade yourself to that bastard. You don't have a choice. I whirled to face him. She's my sister. He's her mate. I won't let them suffer for my decisions. So you'll suffer instead? If that's what it takes. Tears blurred my vision. Kai, please, I have to do this. Then I'm coming with you. No, he'll kill Lyra's mate the moment he sees you. I grabbed his hands. This is my battle. My choice. You have to let me fight it. Like hell I do. This is the second trial. I met his eyes. Faith and trust and love beyond. You have to trust me, Kai. Trust that I can handle this. Trust that I'll come back to you. And if Corvus hurts you, if he forces you to give prophecies, then I'll deal with it. But I have to try. For Lyra. For her mate. For the sister who's been alone while I built this new life. The pain in his eyes was devastating. You're asking me to let you walk into danger. To trust that you'll survive. To have faith that love is enough. That's exactly what I'm asking. Silence stretched between us. Finally, 1 week. You have 1 week to resolve this. Then I'm coming for you, treaty be damned. 1 week. I kissed him desperately. I love you. I love you too, which is why this is killing me. I left that afternoon, Lyra beside me, heading back to the pack I'd sworn never to return to. Shadowmere looked the same, felt the same, but I was different. I wasn't the silent Omega anymore. I was Luna Queen, Oracle, Kai's mate, and I was done being afraid. Corvus met me at the packhouse entrance. Well, the prodigal daughter returns. Where's my sister's mate? Safe, for now. His smile was cruel. Let's discuss terms, shall we? We negotiated for hours. He wanted prophecies, wanted me to speak the goddess's will for his benefit. No, I said firmly. I won't pervert the goddess's gift. Then your sister's mate dies. Then you'll answer to the Alpha King. I stood my ground. And to the moon goddess, who doesn't appreciate her oracles being used. You think I'm afraid of your mate? I think you should be. He's probably planning your destruction right now. Corvus hesitated. He knew Kai's reputation, knew the king's power. 3 prophecies, he finally said. Speak 3 prophecies and I'll release the boy. 1 prophecy, about the goddess's will for your pack. Not for you personally, for your wolves. Take it or leave it. He glared. Then, fine. 1 prophecy. But it better be good. I opened myself to the goddess, spoke the words she gave me. Alpha Corvus, hear this truth. Your reign was built on stolen youth. The wolves you lead, the pack you claim, deserve a leader without shame. Step down and let another rise. Someone who leads with heart and eyes. Or face the goddess's wrath and fall. Your pack, your power, you'll lose it all. The prophecy echoed through the hall. Corvus went white. You're telling me to abdicate? The goddess is telling you to abdicate. I'm just the messenger. I met his eyes. Release my sister's mate. Honor our agreement. And perhaps the goddess will show you mercy. You can't. I can. I just did. I stood. Now release him, or I'll speak another prophecy. And trust me, you won't like that one either. 30 minutes later, Lyra was reunited with her mate, a kind-faced beta named Thomas. "Thank you," she sobbed. "Thank you, Arya." "That's what sisters do." I held her tight. "Now get out of here. Go somewhere Corvus can't reach you." "What about you?" "I'll be fine. I have an Alpha King waiting for me." I left Shadowmere that night, not looking back. The second trial was complete, and I'd learned something crucial. Trusting Kai meant letting him trust me. It was a two-way street. When I arrived back at the palace, Kai was waiting. "You're back." He pulled me into his arms, trembling. "You're safe." "I'm safe. I'm home. I'm yours. Always mine." He kissed me desperately. "Don't ever do that again. Don't ever leave me like that. I was losing my mind. I know, I'm sorry, but I had to. I know. I understand. I just..." He pressed his forehead to mine. "I love you so much it terrifies me. I love you too, enough to trust you, enough to come back. 2 trials down." His voice was rough. "1 more to go. Together," I promised. "Whatever it is, we face it together." But I couldn't shake the feeling that the 3rd trial would be the hardest yet. Chapter 7. The Third Trial. The 3rd trial came exactly as the prophecy predicted. From the east, where darkness lies, an army, massive, organized, led by a rogue alpha named Darius, who'd been building power for years. "He's declaring war," Kai said, reading the formal challenge. "Claims I'm unfit to rule, that the kingdom needs stronger leadership." "This is about me, isn't it?" I said quietly. "About you choosing an Omega as your mate." "Probably. Darius is traditional, believes in the old hierarchy. An Omega Luna Queen offends his sensibilities. Then let me fight him. Let me..." "No." His voice was absolute. "This is my battle. My kingdom. I won't hide behind my mate. But if I spoke prophecy, then you'd be doing exactly what I asked you not to do. Making yourself a target. A tool." He cupped my face. "I love that you're brave. That you want to fight beside me. But sometimes the bravest thing is letting your mate protect you. That's not fair. You let me fight Corvus. Because that was your battle. Your past. Your choice." His eyes were intense. "This is different. This is a rogue alpha challenging my rule. If I don't face him, I look weak. The kingdom fractures. And if you lose, I won't." His confidence was absolute, but I'd seen Darius's reputation. He was older, more experienced, brutal in combat. "Kai, please, trust me. Like I trusted you with Corvus. Like I trusted you to come back from Shadowmere." He kissed my forehead. "Trust that I'm strong enough to protect us both." The 3rd trial. Faith and trust and love beyond. "Okay," I whispered. "I trust you." The battle was set for the full moon, 3 days away. I spent those days in agony, watching Kai train, prepare, knowing he was about to face an enemy who wanted him dead. "You're worrying," Sarah said, finding me in the library the night before the battle. "Of course I am. The man I love is about to fight to the death. He's the strongest alpha I've ever seen. He'll win. You can't know that. I can. Because he has something Darius doesn't. Something worth fighting for." She smiled. "You, his mate, his Luna, his reason to survive." That night I couldn't sleep. I stood on my balcony, watching the moon rise, and felt the goddess's pull. Another prophecy was coming. I opened my mouth and spoke. "The king will face the eastern threat, with strength and honor, no regret. But she who chose 5 years of night must stand beside him in the fight, not with sword or claw or fang, but with the voice that once rang. Speak the truth, reveal the lie, or watch your fated mate die." The words left me gasping. Behind me, Kai stood in the doorway, having heard everything. "I have to fight beside you," I said. "The prophecy says you'll use your voice. Not that you'll physically fight. His expression was troubled. What truth needs revealing? What lie? I don't know. The goddess doesn't tell me everything. Then we'll figure it out. Together. The next day we rode to the battlefield, a neutral field where wolf law allowed challenges. Darius was waiting, massive and scarred, his forces behind him. "Alpha King Kai," he called. "Ready to die?" "Ready to defend my kingdom and my mate." Kai dismounted. "Let's begin." They shifted, two massive wolves circling each other, preparing to fight. The battle was brutal, savage, devastating. Kai was good, better than good. But Darius was older, more experienced, fighting with a desperation that made him dangerous. I watched, my heart in my throat, as they tore into each other. Then I saw it. The moment Darius fainted left, Kai followed, and Darius's jaws closed around Kai's throat. "No, no." The words came without thought, without planning, pure prophecy flowing through me. "Darius the rogue, you speak of honor, but your past reveals you're a mourner. The mate you lost, the love you killed, with jealous rage, your bond you spilled. You claim the king is weak for loving, but your own heart is unattractive. You fight him now to prove your worth, but can't escape your cursed birth. Step down and live, or fight and fall. The goddess judges one and all." Golden light poured from the sky, forcing Darius to release Kai. The prophecy echoed across the battlefield, revealing Darius's darkest secret. He'd killed his own mate in a fit of jealous rage years ago. His forces gasped. Wolves who'd followed him began backing away. "That's not... I didn't..." Darius stammered. "The oracle doesn't lie," Kai said, standing despite his wounds. "The moon goddess herself has spoken. You're a kinslayer, a murderer, unworthy to challenge me or anyone else." Darius's forces abandoned him. He stood alone, exposed, his secret revealed to the world. "Mercy," he finally whispered. "I ask for mercy." "The moon goddess grants mercy to those who seek redemption," I said, the prophecy still flowing. "Exile. Leave these lands. Seek atonement. Perhaps, one day, she'll forgive what you've done." Darius fled, and the battle was over. Kai came to me, bloody and exhausted. "You saved me." I trusted the goddess, trusted that she'd reveal the truth when we needed it most. The third trial. He pulled me close. We passed. Together. All 3 trials. I smiled through tears. Faith and trust and love beyond. We proved we have all 3. His kiss was fierce, claiming. "Now there's just one thing left to do." "What's that?" "Complete our bond. Make you my Luna in every way. Mark each other, claim each other, become one." My heart raced. "You're sure?" "I've been sure since the moment I saw you." His eyes blazed gold. "The question is, are you ready?" I looked at this Alpha King who'd discovered my secret and offered protection, who'd trusted me to fight my own battles, who'd faced death to defend our bond. "Yes," I said firmly, "I'm ready." That night, under the full moon, we completed the bond. He marked me, his bite sending pleasure through me like lightning. I marked him, my oracle gift blazing bright as the bond snapped fully into place. And when it was done, when we were truly one, the goddess's voice echoed in my mind. "Well done, my oracle. You found your voice and your king. Now lead them all into the light." Epilogue, 5 years later. The council room was packed with representatives from every pack in the kingdom. I stood before them, Kai at my side, and addressed the crowd. 5 years ago, I came to this palace as a silent Omega, hiding from my gift and my fate. Today I stand before you as Luna Queen, Oracle, and voice of the Moon Goddess. My voice rang clear and strong, and I'm here to announce a change. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. From this day forward, Omega wolves in this kingdom will have the same rights as any other designation: education, property ownership, the right to choose their own mates. I met each pair of eyes. We've lived too long under a system that values wolves by designation rather than character. That ends now. Applause erupted, not from everyone, but from enough. Your Luna Queen has spoken, Kai added, his voice carrying alpha command. Any who disagree can take it up with me personally. The dissenters fell silent. After the meeting, Kai and I walked through the palace gardens, watching our children play, twin daughters who'd inherited both his strength and my gift. You've changed the kingdom, Kai said softly. We've changed it. Together. I leaned into him. I couldn't have done any of this without you. You could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to. He pulled me close. I love you, my once silent oracle, my brave Luna Queen. I love you too, my Alpha King, my mate, my home. Our youngest daughter ran up, all energy and mischief. Mama, I spoke prophecy. Want to hear? Always, little one. She recited a simple verse about where to find the best berries in the forest, her gift just starting to manifest. Beautiful, I said, hugging her tight. She ran off to play, and Kai turned to me. No regrets? About the silence? The years you lost? I thought about those 5 years, the loneliness, the fear, the constant pretense. Then I looked at what they'd led to. This life, this love, this family. No regrets, I said firmly. Everything I went through led me here, led me to you. The goddess's plan all along. She has a twisted sense of humor, giving me 5 years of silence before the loudest life imaginable. His laugh was warm. But you're happy? Deliriously, I kissed him. I was silent for 5 years to survive. Now I speak every day to help others thrive. That's a pretty good trade. The best trade. He held me close, our bond humming perfectly between us. From servant's chains to Luna's crown. From silent Omega to Oracle Queen. From hiding to leading. The prophecy had come true, exactly as the goddess promised, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Arya and Kai, proof that sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and truth always finds a way. Did this story touch your soul? Did you believe in the power of choosing your voice? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which trial moved you most, and subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of impossible love. I want to know, could you have stayed silent for 5 years? Would you have been brave enough to speak when it mattered most? Would you have trusted your mate to trust you? Tell me in the comments. And speaking of trust, our next story is going to absolutely devastate you in the best way. It's called Sold to the Beast King, and it follows a she-wolf auctioned off to pay her father's gambling debts, purchased by the most feared alpha in the realm, the one they call the Beast. She expects cruelty. She finds something far more complicated. And when she discovers why he bought her, why he's kept her close, she'll have to decide if the monster everyone fears might be the hero she needs. Until next time, my dreamers, may your silence be chosen, your voices be heard, and your secrets lead you to the love you deserve. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.